Sheni, Matos Sheni. V'yadaber Hashem Moshe Lemor, Nekom Nikmas Bnei Yisrael Meis HaMidyonim. Avenge the vengeance of the Bnei Yisrael from the Midianites. Achet Yosef El Amecho. And then you're going to pass on. So Rashi over here, in Meis HaMidyonim, explains the Lo Meis HaMoavim, but not from the Moavim, not from the Moabites. So the question is why they were involved. The daughters of Moab, they were involved in seducing the men. So why only Midian? Why destroy Midian? So Rashi cites two pshatim, two interpretations. I want to go on the second one. Davar acher, neishtei predus tovas sheyesh lahutzi mehem. Because the two little birds who are meant to come from Moab, Rusa Movia v'nama Moonis. Rus was destined to come from Moab. The Gemara tells us that Bolok, the king of Moab, who commissioned Bilam, was the grandfather of Rus, Hamovia. So if Moab would be destroyed, there wouldn't be a Rus. So therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, although they deserved to be destroyed, but he did not allow them to be destroyed because ultimately what was meant to come from them, which was Rus, Hamovia Nama Hamonis. Now the question is, first of all, who was Rus? Rus was the grandmother of David HaMelech. The Gemara tells us in Brochus that, cites a posuk, that the destiny of a person lies in one's name. The Rechaim HaKodesh writes in one location that when a parent chooses a name for a child, it borders on prophecy. That Hashem puts the name in the parent's name, in parents' minds, because that name will determine the destiny of that child, whether it's a boy or a girl. The Gemara quotes a pasuk in Brochos. It says, "V'sein shamus ba'oretz, al tikra shamus el l'shemos." Hashem says, "You will put names in the land, that those names will determine the destiny of a person." So the Gemara says, Shmo Kagorim. The name is the determining factor of what the future will bring. So Rus HaMovia, Rus, what lies within the name of Rus? Rus, that she will merit a grandchild. She meraves HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'shivas hashbachos. She will have a grandchild who will sate Hashem with song and praise, which is David HaMelech, that's Tildim. So within the name Rus, she will have a grandchild, be Merave, will say Hashem, the Shivas Shbochos. So because Moab, she was meant to come from Moab, therefore, if Moab would have been destroyed, there would have been a Rus. Therefore, Hashem spared Moab, so there should be a Rus, because ultimately there had to be a David HaMelech. She's the grandma of David HaMelech. She converted. Now, who was Rus? So the Gemara tells us in Sanhedrin, that Rus was the granddaughter of Bolok. Bolok Melech Moab. Bolok, the king of Moab, was a grandfather. Eglon, in Novi, we read about Eglon, Melech Moab, that was her father. Now, a man like Bolok, he was an evil man. He wanted to destroy the Jewish people. Why did he merit to have such a special granddaughter? That ultimately, he was the grandfather of David HaMelech, biologically. Rus was not only biological, she was the spiritual grandmother of David, because she converted. Why does a man merit to have such a special granddaughter? So Gemara says, because Bilam, when he wanted to curse the Jews, he had advised them to build altars for Hashem and bring korbanos sacrifices. And he hoped that in the merit of those sacrifices, he'll endear himself to Hashem, and through that endearment, he'll be able to curse the Jews. He'll find a moment of favor to be able to curse the Jews and destroy them. And Bilam and Bolok built those altars in this various location, brought so many korbanos, it didn't work. But factually, the sacrifices he brought were for Hashem. It was not for idolatry. So Rava says, in the merit of those karbonos, he merited to have Rus HaMovia. Because he brought those sacrifices to Hashem, he merited to have Rus. So Rava says, from here we learn, mitoch shlo l'shmo bo l'shmo, when he brought those karbonos to Hashem, is it because he was subordinated to God? He had any avos Hashem. It was purely with an ulterior motive. Because the only way that he would be able to destroy the Jews was only if he's able to achieve this level of endearment. Doesn't make a difference. Since factually he brought those karbonos to Hashem, which, although he was a pagan, and that he merited to have Rus HaMovia. So it turns out, why was Moab spared? Why was it spared? Why were they not destroyed? He only said, Nekom niklas b'neiso me'is hamidyonim, only for the Midianites, because Bolok had done a mitzvah, shelo lishma, and in that merit of that mitzvah, he merited to have Rus. And Rus had to be born from him, because he had that special merit, although it was shelo lishma. Therefore, Moab, as a nation, was spared, not destroyed. That's what we see. Where do we see something similar to this? Og Melech HaBoshan, who was the so-called the protector of the nations of Canaan, when Moshe killed him, he was killed by Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe was concerned, was afraid. Hashem says you have nothing to be afraid of. So Rashi over there cites Chazal. What was he worried? Because when Lot was taken captive by the four kings, the four mightiest kings of the world, and they captured Lot only to entrap Avram, that they should draw him into battle, they should kill him. That's why they took him captive. Avram went to war with them. He destroyed the four kings. And due to that, he was proclaimed Nasi Elokim, the Prince of God. Now, who informed Avram that his nephew was taken captive? Og, Melech HaBoshan, Og informed him. Why did he inform him? Because he believed Avram would be killed in battle, because how could one person stand up against the four mightiest kings, and he'll be killed in battle, and he'll be able to take Sori Menu. Sori Menu was world renowned as being one of the most beautiful women who ever existed. So he had an ulterior motive. It was to destroy Avram, that he should be able to take his wife. And in merit of that accommodation to Avram Avinu, he lived hundreds of years. Moshe was concerned that schus of informing Avram still was lingering. And because of that, he would not be able to destroy him. Hashem says to Moshe, it's been depleted. There's no schus, you will be able to destroy him. Whatever he did for Avram has come to an end. Here we find it was literally with a sinister intent. He only informed Avram to be able to take his wife, and that Avram should be killed. Doesn't make a difference. That's the ultimate shelo lishma, with an ulterior motive, self-interest, and even with a sinister intent. Nevertheless, accommodating a tzaddik like Avram Avinu, informing him that his nephew was taken captive, that has merit, it has value. And therefore, he lived hundreds of years, and he continued perpetrating whatever evil he represented. Oh, otherwise he would have died sooner. Bolok, since he brought these karbonos for Hashem, it was not for paganism, he merited to have Rus HaMovia. But we see something interesting. Who advised them to bring the karbonos? Bilam. We find that initially when Bilam was commissioned, and he sent a message to Bilam, he says, I want to drive the Jewish people from the land, because they're going to lap us like an ox eats from the field, meaning there's no brocha. It's not he wanted the Jews to be destroyed, Bolok. It was for self-preservation. When Hashem comes to Bilam, and says, why are you going with them? He says, because I was commissioned to destroy them from the face of the earth. So it says from here we see that Bilam's hate for the Jews was much greater than Bolok. Bolok, when he asked they should be cursed, that's only to remove them. Not they should be removed from existence. Bilam's hate was so intense, he could not tolerate their existence. They should be destroyed. Now, who advised Balak to bring the sacrifices, build the altars? That's Bilam. And Balak did. In the merit of that, what did he merit? Rusa Movia. Rusa Movia is the grandmother of David HaMelech. Melech Mashiach is Mashiach ben David. Ultimately, all evil will come to an end due to David HaMelech. So Rus came about due to the advice of Bilam, who could not tolerate the existence of a Jew, and ultimately this came to bite him endlessly over, because the reason why all the Kiddush Hashem will happen comes through David, and ultimately all evil will come to an end due to David. And Moab only merited to have that she should be a descendant from Balak was due to Bilam's advice. And this is Shlo Lishma.